For the last year, what have you been up to?
For the last year, I took off a year from from teaching writing, and I've been focusing on my own writing. And the other thing I've been doing is living. This list, do, be, and have, the 100 things of do, be, and have. What I've learned is when you relax, let me rephrase this. I spent a lot of my life wanting something that came very slowly. Wanting to be the successful writer, wanting to be a successful teacher, wanting things. And the process of wanting is actually a very constrained emotion. It limits things, right? If you think about the abundance of the universe and this huge funnel of amazingness, and then wanting makes it very narrow. It actually makes things come much, much slower. And so last year I decided that I would stop wanting. I would just allow whatever to happen, but I was going to kind of clear my slate. And so I cleared my slate of teaching and cleared my slate so that I could just both live and see what happened. Like, what if I stopped wanting to be a writer? What if I stopped wanting to be a teacher? What would happen, right? And so I did this experiment. And a couple things happened. On my list of 100 things to do, be, and have, those things just started coming really quickly. So in the last year, I've had the most remarkable year of travel, concerts and crazy things. And I've also relaxed into knowing that there is great timing. And my confidence for both the ideas that I have and their development has softened into this sense of knowing that I'm on the right path at the right time, and that I don't have to muscle it for it to occur. And so it's almost like I've taken a huge exhale, and all of my muscles have just softened, and I am getting it's much easier to write. It's much easier to be happy as I write. It's much easier to believe that what I write is going to land in the perfect place. And I don't have that tug of wanting and not getting. So from that place, just have this great sense of wanting to teach people things that I've learned, and to have people, to be able to give other people the gift of exploding their writing. There's the other thing about being a teacher sometimes is that you spend a lot of time nurturing other people, but when your well is not full, then it's much harder to give what they need, right? And I've had this year of really filling my well and experiencing life and getting so many things on my list of do, be, and have, that now I feel like I can give people so much more energy and so much more attention and so much more insight into how to be creative and how to manifest their dreams and how to manifest the life that they want. Because I feel like I've done that. I've done some great things, and I can show you how to do that too.
That must have been quite scary, though, because I get the sense that everybody in LA is driven. It seems like they wouldn't stay in the city sometimes, probably, if they wouldn't be so set on accomplishing certain things. But it sounds like that's a very scary thing to do. If you've been driven and want things and to just let it go and walk away from that for a little bit. How was that?
It is. I do think we have to be willing, that it's important to figure out why you want something. And if you're wanting something because your father told you you were meant to do it, or not meant to do it, right? You're doing out of a sense of I'm going to show you, right? And it goes back to that idea of knowing who you are, and appreciating that the people who are really great writers live. And if you're stuck in a world of struggle, you're not living. And you don't remember who you are because you've defined your life as struggle. And trust me, that's not who you are. Your life is so much bigger. And so for me, it was getting out of this Hollywood, Los Angeles, I've got to drive this car and live this place and have my life look a particular way to be valued. And instead say, what if I were just happy? What would that look like? Forget being the successful super A-list writer. What would happy look like? And so I chased happy. And in chasing happy, I feel like I can do anything. And that's just so much more fun than struggling.
You're now entering back into writing. It's Story Expo 2015. So are you able to take more of, like you said, this sort of like this relaxing, this deep breath, because you have kind of crossed those things off on that list, and what's that like to kind of come back? It almost feels like you're entering the mainstream again or something. I don't know.
I'm entering the mainstream, but I'm also entering the mainstream with this larger knowledge of how diverse the marketplace is. I just met with a Sony executive from Russia who's just selling things to Turkey. I'm talking to people who need content on every level. And so I have a really deep appreciation of how much content is needed in the world, how many stories are needed in the world. And from this place of being kind of full of my own happy, I'm very confident that both my stories will find a home and the people that I work with have stories that will find a home. And once you take out the sense of struggle and you begin seeing how expansive this marketplace is, how expansive the need for content is, and how much really the whole world is calling for you, then, and I feel like I can share that with the people that I work with, to really give them a very strong sense that they can relax because their work is needed and wanted in the world. And I know this, and I know this because I've relaxed enough to see it.
There's a book called, I think, Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much. Ann Wilson Schaaf, I think, who wrote it. And it's about that whole being driven, and it's funny because a boss that I had actually gave it to me, and it was her book. And so, how do you relax into that when you maybe start to see your haunches getting up, when it's like, oh, I see that, and I want that, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to come back to the place of just maybe not wanting. Are there things to bring you back?
Well, first you have to know that your wanting is just the sign that the universe wants to give it to you. Straight up. So you can relax. You can want it. It's kind of like knowing that you're wanting Christmas to come. Well, Christmas is coming. You don't have to do anything to get it, right? So that wanting is the sign that it's coming. Now, you may not know how it's coming, and that's where the hamster wheel comes in, because we think we have to do it all ourselves. And that's why I suggest the list of do, be, and have, because I'm telling you, the list of do, be, and have generates it. And the other thing that I do very strongly is a letter to the universe. And I just came back from Burning Man, and that was my project. Because 4 years ago, I wrote a letter to the universe, and I promise you, every single thing on that letter came true. And the technique is basically being able to feel what's coming without needing to know how it's coming. So if, for example, you want an amazing writing career, why do you want that writing career? Well, I want to be famous, I want to... Like, what's the experience of your day-to-day life that feels so good to you being a writer? And if you can get to that, if you could, if I said, okay, well, I want to be able to get up in the morning and have my cup of tea and not have a day job. It's just me and writing, and I have a beautiful desk, and what am I looking at? Well, I have a window with a garden, and I can see, well, what time is it in the morning? Oh, it's 7 in the morning. Okay, so you're starting your day at 7, and so if I can get somebody, or if I can get somebody to talk about what they love about the idea of being a full-time writer, and feel it, feel the tea in your hands, feel the sense of fingers on the keyboard, feel what it feels like to allow the ideas to come. Feel at the end of the day how much you've written. Feel what it feels like. What do? Do you work until 2? Do you work? So really feel the day. If I can, and feel, okay, so then what happens? So I want to feel what it feels like to be in a bookstore and see somebody picking up my book. I want to feel what it feels like to stand in front of people and read, right? And the more you anchor into the why, the experience, the sense of being in this future life, and then begin to see yourself as realizing that that life is true. It's coming, and that's why you can feel it. Then you just have to follow your instincts, and it will come. It will come. And you'll be amazed. It will come. So for that woman who's getting sucked into, how do I get there? And do I need to network? And maybe I should go to that meeting. I would say spend more time feeling what your future life looks like. And the impulses that come to you, the ideas that come to you, will lead you to where you want to go. The path for everyone is very different. And the more connected you are to knowing what you want your life to look like, the more will come. There's a very simple metaphor in mountain biking, which is true in life. Where you look is where you go. In mountain biking, when you're on a single track, if you look up, you go up. I don't care how small that track is, you keep looking up. The bike will stay on that road, this wide. But if you look down, you will go down. So the more you look at, I don't have what I want, I don't know how to get there, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know if I need to talk to that person, the more you'll get that. The more you say, I know something's going to guide me there, I know my ideas are good, I know they're getting better, I know my path will work, I'm just going to be patient for it, the more that you'll get that.
So look up.
Look up. Look up and relax. It's knowing that when you look up, the whole energy of your body and the connection to the earth keeps you on a straight path. It's the physical, and it's also how you manifest what you want in life.